Okay. Well,
and away we go.
I guess that's how it starts. It's the first step. It's either the beginning of a beautiful friendship or the first step of the last minute of your life. Either way. Right. Either way.
It's when you start screaming out for tech support.
Right. I knew I was dying when I saw all my tech support cases flash before my eyes as I was fading. Like, oh no, there's no 2 open tickets. Oh shit. Very topical. Hey, you're gonna play our welcome to the YouTube. Hey everybody, welcome to YouTube. Right now we're not featured because we're slowly learning how to do this, and there's no good way to intro. It's like, hey, do you want to? Hello, like we need a whole intro screen. We need sliding titles. We need intro music, and right now it's just like this picture and our goddamn voices until we decide to turn on these things. We should at least have like wash screens that like bubbles, like something from Bikini Bottom. Meanwhile,
right
on the 2-sided, something. I don't know.
Or the slides made famous by Star Wars.
Exactly. Transitions, John. That's the next tech support call you need to make and get burned on the back burner. Transitions, baby. Transitions.
Well, let's give the people what they want.
Yeah. I'm a fact finder and I'll remind you, believe when I say I research this all day, but we a 2-sided pod
at gmail.com.
You need to rebut all I say with all of your ratings. Tell me why I've got red hair and ginger pubes. Tell me why you bitch and moan, it's all you do. Now it's time to get drunk and go on stereo. That's the 2-sided way. That's the 2-sided way.
Yes. And that, my friends, is our mate down under, Mr. V, as he's known to his good friends, V.
That's right.
You dropped the Mr. for formalities. Anyway, he did that whole, great mate. You can follow his profile if he's following us. If he's not, may God have mercy on his soul. He's dead to us. Good thing we have the intellectual property rights of that song. Yes. And now, dead to us.
Well, yeah, I think we should jump into the show. What do you think?
Well, I think we should first tell people, hey, this is the 2-sided pod. We come here live on YouTube on Thursdays. If you like what you're seeing, you appreciate what you're hearing, you are in disbelief of what you're feeling, then hit that subscribe button, hit that alert button, hit that like button. Let us know how you feel. We're also on Spotify. You can follow our podcasts out there. The 2-sided pod, at 2-sided pod, something. Just click on John. John has all the stuff. And if you don't, you can email John at 2sidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWO sidedpod@gmail.com. And he'll give you all the deets. And I think that, John, makes me ready.
Well, howdy.
I get more didgeridoo in my life. I just don't understand it. There's more didgeridoo. You're like, hey, let's do this. Like, you insisted on dubbing over Mr. V's stuff to put more didgeridoo in it. I said, you do not need to do that. Didgeridoo don't, if you please. Jesus, John.
I'm John L. Peacock, currently in Michigan. This is my boy Pete out in Southern California, and you're listening to Two-Sided, where every episode I challenge Pete with a bit of the two sides of life, the fun and the serious.
Yeah, the right and the wrong, John. I take the challenge, I retort back at you aggressively, and I say, I am the right, you are the wrong. I challenge you to come to my side of the tracks where the grass is greener, my friend.
And for those who are listening on the podcast channels, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever, if you'd like to come in and join us live, we're live every Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern on the Stereo app and on YouTube Live. And you can come to have a shot with us. We always enjoy it when you do. And if you're listening on a pre-record, just try to take a shot every time we do. We dare you.
Oh, I pray to the baby Jesus, 8 pounds, 7 ounces of her beautiful soul that they don't, because that's legal problems we don't need, John. Our livers are in litigation right now against us. We don't need to have a class action liver suit, John.
On that note,
shall we? I believe
we?
we shall. Shall we dance? No, let's drink. Here we go. Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right.
Ooh. Ooh.
No, it's either I'm going to go with no, because it's either it's the dawn of the season, a bang, 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 or it's going to be that's the sound of the man working on the railroad, or it was John trying to pass a kidney stone. None of the three we need to hear.
Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Ah.
I'm just saying. It all makes sense to me.
That's the sound of the John passing the kidney stone. Yeah, okay. Let's move on.
That's the sound of the John working on the kidney stone. Ooh, ah. All day long he's singing. Ooh, ah, ah, ah.
And that's going to lead us today. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. We're doing our first lightning round.
Lightning round! No, what do we do? I'm all the monkeys, John. Let's play your little game.
Dance, monkey, dance.
For the people who aren't watching at home, I will be all the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, because I am the evil monkey.
That's right. So that really is the monkeys are the evil, right? Because they're holding it in.
Exactly. It's like the same thing of like, here's the two doves or the whatever, like the good on the people's arms, the good and the bad, the little angels, the yeah. All it is just like, that ain't nothing. They're the evil ones. I'm merely trying to get by. Don't be a monkey in a monkey world, John.
Be a squirrel trying to get a nut.
Exactly. Thank you. Someone who sees the truth.
Well, anyone who's anyone knows that our first lightning round always starts with a standard Q&A. My boy Peter, you ready for the questions?
Oh, I'm ready for questions. I'm ready because I got answers. Like today, I have nothing but answers. I'm full of answers.
What does it mean to be a clown?
It means to entertain. It means to truly bring whimsical delight to others in ways that it's more fanciful. It's more, it's bigger than comedy. You're a comedian, but a comedian is a person doing a bit, having a character. A clown is bigger than life. A clown is a transport to a different time. It's a different space in the mind. If you can lean into a clown, and some of the best ones, like even the hardcore, the rodeo clowns, bro. Rodeo clowns are fucking badass. But
Yeah.
if you watch, if you've ever been to a rodeo, I'm sure you have.
Yep.
Yeah, we only on TV and ESPN and shit, and the bull riding PPRs out here, you only see on TV, like you only see them getting fucked up. You only see them.
Right.
But in between stuff, when they're changing out the arena, when they're doing whatever, and they're coming around and like working the crowd, hilarious. Like they're amazing little clowns. And it's bigger than, it's just a thing. It's like, let me fix the world.
Yeah.
Bring joy to the world. A clown is a person who brings joy in a silly way to the world.
Yep. Yeah, amazing thing about the rodeo clown is that their one job is to distract the bull for bull riding when the bull bucks off the cowboy, so it doesn't gore the cowboy, which is usually the closest thing to it, right? So that's their one job. And in the rodeo, they're like, what's the best person, what's the best entity to actually be able to distract a bull and safely? And it's the clown.
Right. No, but the actually, because I was on a committee, we voted on it, and I said, how about Bugs Bunny dressed up as a sexy woman bull? And they said it's too makeup intensive and too costume heavy. We need to have them. We can't have a big sexy rabbit out there in a bull costume with a dress with makeup, because that's hard to get around in. Because what if, God forbid, he catches you? You know what I mean?
Right.
So we can't even have it. So we're like, clowns. That's the next thing. But
what if the bull finds love, if you know what I mean?
Right. And we don't want to hurt the bull. We don't want to do the road runner of like, here's a tunnel and we'll like run towards that. Like, we don't want to do that because that's not going to be good for anyone.
That's right. Second question. What is your best clowning experience?
Oh. Literally the most fun I had. Shit, man. Because shows are good. Like I've played clowns in a couple shows, which have been fun. But it's like, no, it's like that's all scripted. It's more fun when you get to go off book, when you get to play and like make up your own shit. I did do in summer camp. I was a clown once at a rodeo, which was fun. And that's the only thing that I had free reign to do whatever I want. I was only like 18, 19.
Yeah.
So it was like last year before.
Right. That's right.
I'm telling you, God damn, John, more changes a man. I didn't have any of this when I was 17. And now that I turned 18, look at it.
You're like Buddy the Elf's friend from the mailroom. I'm 27.
27. You don't understand.
So the rodeo clown, 18?
I would have to say rodeo clown. I think I was 17, 18.
17?
Yeah.
What's the worst clowning experience you've ever had?
When I had to, shit, I even blocked the name of the play out. I don't even remember. It was like a Harlequin. Like there was a couple clowns. I don't even remember. It was shit.
Well, it definitely wasn't One Man, Two Govs.
No. That was probably seeing that clowning. No, actually, no. That for me was probably my favorite, the off book. When it's like, all right, things that go out and work 2 minutes in the crowd. Yeah, and I was like, how long do you want this show? I will stay in the crowd. Like, you guys don't even understand.
The show can't continue until you make it. And you're like, nah, right.
No, I'm here. Like, the crowd they think this is part of the show.
Huh?
Okay, that was, you know what, John? No. Okay, that one was my favorite. That was my favorite because that it was scripted, but I was a character, so I was totally safe.
Yeah.
It was just like clown make. Bro, I can do a whole, I can't, okay, I'm not going to jump on your stuff about what the clown is and what your armor is. And like, when you're a character, you're free to do anything.
Right.
So out there with this whole thing, like I did the whole, who grabbed my ass? Did you grab, like, but not of, did you grab across and come back and like, oh, it was just great. Yeah, no, that was my favorite.
And finally, have you ever been in a situation where you had to, quote, send in the clowns?
Oh, John, anyone who knows us, if you've watched this show, if you're watching live on YouTube and you like that subscribe button and hit that alert, you know that I feel the need to send in the clowns almost every Thursday, at least twice a week. So I find a corner, I paint myself into it, and John is no help. He's like, need more paint? I'm like, God damn it.
I'm helpful. Paint.
Send in the clowns. No, don't send in the clowns unless they have paint with them, says John. Horrible.
Thank you very much. Great. Let's grab a couple of these their messages.
Oh shit! Everybody's here. Mr. V, Foxy,
Foxy.
Soul.
Hey, fellas, how you doing? MFA here. You look fabulous.
How you doing?
Girl, you look fabulous.
Hello, guys. How are you doing this evening?
Foxy lady.
Foxy lady.
Yep.
Maybe one.
Yep.
I can't
Get
remember.
it,
Anyways, so you're talking about a bull like finding true love and stuff during the arena of the. You do know that they got that rope wrapped around their waist. It's got their nuts essentially in a cinch.
Yep.
I don't think if I was a guy or a male species of any flavor, I don't think I would be wanting to get jiggy with it after I got my nuts out of a sling. I'm just saying.
I like that she said male out of any flavor. I like that. That's great. But I agree. I'm 100% with you. I think as a show, as a two-sided pod, we agree. Nope. No tying the balls and getting jiggy with anything. No, thank you. However, I bet you $100 that John will pay for because he fronts me everything. He's making all this great money being an actor. If you type in who wants to get their balls tied up and get jiggy afterwards, like, you will get a lot of hits. So I'm sure there's 2 or 3 bulls who are like in the bullpen. Everybody's like, he's a weirdo. And all the bulls are like, yeah, fuck that guy. And like all the bulls stay away. He's like, oh yeah, make it tighter. Fuck yeah.
Pinch them till they fall off. Oh,
right. Does that come with nipple clamps? Jesus, this bull. We have 6. You need 6 nipples. I don't even understand. Let's just work with the rope we got. We'll find you a clown, maybe a bunny in a bull outfit who looks real sexy, real pretty like. Maybe then. Horrible. Horrible.
Well, speaking of, I don't know. Nope, no transition. Hey, now we're going to talk about a brief, oversimplified look at the state of Michigan and its history.
I'd really like to thank everyone out there for participating in the derailment of John, because he has a flow to his shit, and we derailed him so badly that this is one of those epic moments that rings true in history. This is a bright, shining beacon that all shall come to and look towards. Mark this moment, John, 5:23 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, March 10th, 2022. We, as a community, stood up and derailed John together. Yes, we cannabis. Okay, sorry. What were you saying about Michigan?
Oh, nothing. Michigan is a state in the Great Lakes region of the upper Midwest, Midwestern United States.
Well, first off, let a preface: 2 of my favorite people in the world are in that state right now, and that's all I'm going to say. And then we can talk about that later. Continue.
You know Joey Butts? Wow.
Hey, Joey Butts. Everybody fucking knows Joey Butts. Hey.
It derives its name from a Gallicized variant, which means just, made easier for a foreign language to spell and say, of the original.
Say that one more time.
Gallicized.
Gallicized.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just learned a new word.
Yeah.
Okay. Gallicized variant. I know what a variant is. Go on.
Of the Ojibwe word Michigami. And I'm probably saying it wrong, but that's how it's spelled, Michigami. Meaning large water or large lake. With a population of a little over 10 million and an area of 97,000 square miles. It's the 10th largest state by population, 11th by land, and the largest east of the Mississippi. I did not know that one.
Yeah. No, I did not know that either, but I feel like I've seen bigger waters. So I feel like they were lying when they Gallicized the word and they said, you know what, let's lie to the people in foreign languages that they'll understand.
That's right. It makes it easier for them to understand.
Exactly.
The capital is Lansing, I believe. Yeah,
Lansing.
Yeah,
come on, man.
Largest city is obviously Detroit, which is one of the largest metropolitan economies and populations in the U.S.
Oh man, I'm just excited because there's so much now. Like, oh, all right, yeah, Michigan. I'm with you. Like the lakes. Okay, are we talking 8 Mile now? Are we talking? Can I talk about D12? Can I talk about the hip hop roots of fucking? Oh shit. Okay, I don't know where you're going. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you finish.
Known as the car capital of the world, it's sometimes called the Great Lakes State, Water Winter Wonderland, the Wolverine State from the university's mascot, and the Mitten State, or Dirty Mitten for those who are in the know.
Hell yeah. So there's a lot of W's there, which is really great because think about like the people, because you were, we were talking about Transylvania. Anyone who can pronounce Wisconsin will. Anyway,
Water Winter Wonderland.
Winterkind Winter Wonderland. Oh, nein, that is not what I said. Sorry, go.
Couple of little random facts. The flower, the state flower is the apple blossom. The bird is the robin, and the tree is the white pine.
Man, okay. And that's, John, put it down. Let's pick apart some of these states, flowers, birds, and trees, because some of them are just lazy. Like apple blossom?
Apple blossom, baby.
No, I'm with you, but apple blossom? Come on.
What about the robin? I mean, that's like one of the most, it's a common bird.
Right. It's like state name, Jim Smith. Perfect.
Robin, the one that's so famous, it's Batman's partner.
State music, human music. Perfect. We love that.
I think they like rock in a city. Do they like rock in a city? Maybe.
No, you're thinking the Rock and Robin. That's where the Rock and Robin came from. And
there we go.
The state motto is tweedly deet, deedly deedly deet.
It's hard to spell, deep. So they usually just say it out.
Right. Deep, 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 deep. It's hard to whistle on a motto. Very difficult.
That's right. It was home to native tribes, which included the Ottawa, the Ojibwe, Miami, and Potawatomi. Potawatomi. Yep. All which belong to the Algonquin linguistic group. So they together the Ottawa. What's
Algonquin?
That?
What was the?
You're better at this than I am. Algonquin. Yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
I
run like the wind. Oh, I only read it.
Yeah. This English language can be so difficult sometimes, John. We should gallonicize for you to make you understand a little better.
So the Ottawa, the Ojibwe, and the Potawatomi formed a loose alliance known as the Three Fires. So they, as opposed to some other native tribes in like Arizona, which were somewhat constantly at war with each other or loose peace, they actually had an alliance. Yeah.
Right. No, which is great because that's like I'm 99% sure, and I can't prove it, but I think that Francis Ford Coppola ripped off the idea from the Three Fires when he was doing the families in Godfather. It wasn't truly about what happened in New York, and it was a loose concept. Anyway, sorry, I lost it. Go ahead, John.
A loose alliance. Yeah.
So
okay.
Close.
Etienne Brulé was the first known European to visit the area in 1622. So he and his companion Grenoble are possibly the first white men to see Lake Superior.
Etienne, is it with an E or an A?
Etienne, yeah.
Etienne. Yeah, he's French. So look at this. Here's the most beautiful lake I've seen. You can call me Etienne. Your name again, sir? What is your name?
Grenoble.
Grenoble. Are you from the eastern part of Europe? No, you are probably French too. It's very good to meet you. I mean, see you again in our long trek, and look at this lake. It's very. And now we're going somewhere else.
We are companions.
So close. So close. So close. Go.
He was a forerunner of numerous missionaries, fur traders, explorers, who helped pave the way for French control of Michigan.
See?
The indigenous...
No, go on. We are all ears over here.
So some of the region's indigenous peoples and the newcomers initially engaged in skirmishes, but that soon gave way to more amiable relationships. They actually got along really well. Natives became fur trappers, trade middlemen, guides, while others, particularly women, focused on providing food to the French settlements. The French provided knives, axes, guns, metal utensils and jewelry, etc., alcohol, all the good stuff. And there was
and we also provided a disdain for people who do not speak the French language.
But you guys are pretty cool with all of your food and things. But everyone else, we spit on them. Very good. And you will learn to do this too. Bonjour, ça va? Ça va bien. Okay.
Ça va?
Ça va bien.
A lot of formal alliances and personal alliances were made between the French communities and the natives, and a lot were cemented by marriage. The Algonquins, Huron, and French were all accustomed to using marriage as, joining extended families, etc.
That's really weird. Oh, joining, because you said joining extended. That's, bro, rephrase that. I'm going to say that's literally when you marry, that is how families are joined. So you're talking about bridging alliances or taking peace treaties?
Right. And so that created the personal alliances, which in turn helped to solidify the formal alliances, and which caused general peace between these different cultures and people. Right.
It's marriage. It's so the times how they have changed. They used marriage for peace treaties. Now marriages lead into bitter arguments,
and sometimes murder.
Murder, most foul.
So the oldest European settlement in Michigan is Sault Ste. Marie, founded by the French in 1668, where 1,641 missionaries had held services for some 2,000 Ojibwe. In 1701,
how many missionaries?
1641. 1641.
1641
No.
or 1641.
Where in 1641, missionaries
Right.
had held services for some 2,000 Ojibwe.
Oh, okay. So missionaries in 1641.
Right.
The missionaries, what positions did they hold? Missionary positions for.
That's right.
For
Well,
2000.
missionary position services. That's right.
Right. And if they had made it a little farther west, it could have been cowgirl. I don't know. Sorry. I just work with what you give me, John. Go ahead.
Antoine de la Mothe Cadillac established Detroit as a fur trading center and administrative post shortly there in 1701. So about 40 years later.
His name was the Cadillac.
Antoine de la Mothe, M-O-T-H-E, Cadillac. Yeah.
M-O-T-H-E. Antoine de la Mothe de Cadillac. De Cadillac.
There you go.
It's no problem. It's Antoine de Mothe de Cadillac. Oh, we have nice low ride things for you. It's going to be very, very good.
And then come the British. Unlike the French,
man,
they did. Yeah.
No, anything that says "now come the British" or "now come the Americans," either of those two phrases are like, and that is where the story takes a hard left turn. Like we are the two continents that fuck shit up historically.
Yeah, and we are them. We are the ones who are so crazy. We fought and killed them to be us. Yeah.
We can out crazy you, motherfucker. We got cops 24 hours a day. You want to see this shit on TV? Woo!
The first.
We invented bath salts. We invented Florida. We will eat your goddamn face if you come here incorrect. Woo! America. Fuck yeah. Number one. Get on out with your tea and your fucking powdered wigs. Wait, no, your powdered wigs are pretty cool. Those are pretty cool. Fucking tea is dirty water. Woo! Bath salts. Eat your face. America. See, no. Awful, bro.
UK said, we're the greatest empire in the world. And the Americans said, hold my beer. And that was the first usage of that term.
Yeah. Thanks, idiot. Yeah, no, that's a you got to give credit, but that's a very good.
So unlike the French, the British did not get along with the indigenous peoples, and hostility quickly developed between them and several of the tribes. Repeated attacks by armed natives of, this is kind of interesting and cool, I think, forces upon the British forts of Michigan resulted in several one-sided massacres of the British, which is rarely heard of. Serious losses. Eventually, most of the British forts fell in Michigan to the native forces, and hostility culminated in Pontiac's siege, in which the Ottawa chief Pontiac and his followers led an attack of Detroit that lasted for more than 4 months. Like had Detroit fell, which it ultimately didn't after the 4-month raid, all of Michigan would have been completely back under the control of the natives.
Dude, man, it's those little but fuck, I had no idea. I knew about Chief Pontiac. I knew but I didn't know that they did a 4-month siege on Detroit. That's awesome, because anyone who can stay in Detroit for 4 months in a row, woo! You're either making an album or building a car. Either way, we got some soul food to eat, baby.
So the area that would become Michigan was awarded to the United States in 1783. In 1787, it became a part of the newly created Northwest Territory. So that's the lands now constituting Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, and Wisconsin.
Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, and Wisconsin. Okay.
It's kind of in the middle of all that, right?
Yeah,
middle eastern part of that.
It's like the subcockles of the heart. It's like it's the middle. Gotcha.
And so now it's U.S. Yeah. So there was a brief stint that it was controlled by the Spanish after the French, before the British. Very brief. That's why I didn't really go into detail. But an interesting thing is Michigan specifically is one of the few places where 4 sovereign flags have been held over it throughout its history, not including the natives whatsoever, because flags, it's a European thing. French, Spanish, British, and American.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and now it's like, okay, and then it's like, well, in the steel industry, GM took over and they controlled it. And then like, oh shit, hip hop came up like, oh shit, you got 8 Mile, motherfucker?
The 8 Mile
oh
flag.
Shit.
Right.
Ooh, mom spaghetti? Don't mind if I do. All of them. Weird. I like it. No, but I've never been, John, I've never been. And this is why I'm so like kind of jealous, because I've never been. And I want to go, because I know Michigan is so varied, just like California. Like you can go to Detroit, like go and find whatever you're looking for and be in,
right.
grind in the grit, hit a bar, hit a smoke shop, like cool. But you can also be like, oh my God, this is how Snow White wakes up and the birds help dress her in like this beautiful area with all these lakes. And you get the middle ground where it's just like people living, where it's just like literally the majority, I'm guessing, of Michigan, it's the majority of California where people are just living and trying to exist, like in the middle of all that. You can't afford to be beautiful. You're paying every cent you can to not be gritty. So it's like, we're all here, baby.
From what I've seen so far in my first real trip, elongated stay in Michigan, and the research, knowing the layout of the land and how many lakes and how much fresh water shore there is, of course, it's gorgeous. It's meant for that. It's meant for people just to go and live your life. Right.
I was going to say, when I looked at the layout and all these water, I made sure I carry a canoe everywhere I go, because I don't want to be taken unawares. Oh, there's some water. Don't worry. Johnny Two Thumbs is on it and will paddle us away to freedom. Johnny Two Thumbs back in action.
So as you said, whenever and then the U.S. came, once the territory was under U.S. sovereignty, politicians implemented an aggressive program to acquire the land of the native population, sometimes forcibly, through the negotiation of treaties. Negotiations with the indigenous populations continued for the next several decades, during which they lost most of their lands. Some of the natives...
And we did not adhere to the treaties that we set up. I'm not sure about specifically Michigan. I know about Wyoming's. I know about California's. I know about the treaties that were set up, Arizona, that were set up that we reneged on. Like, and it's like, no, you're fine. And now it's like, but you got casinos and we can't arrest people on your land. It's like, small price, man. Small fucking price.
Yeah, you're quote unquote sovereign.
Yeah. John is a good independent podcaster, quote unquote, whatever.
Some of the native peoples resettled on reservations within the area that is now Michigan. Others moved or were relocated to Western territories, and others slowly assimilated into the society of the majority. In 1805, Michigan territory was separated from Indiana, and Detroit was made its capital. Didn't know that. Although Michigan's first territorial governor, William Hull, surrendered Detroit to the British early in the War of 1812, American rule was restored late in 1813 by the victory of Oliver Hazard Perry at the Battle of Lake Erie.
Like, John, why do you mess that up? Like, I was scared as shit. Like, oops, I pooped myself. John, it's Lake Erie. Like, I won't sleep tonight by myself. Keep the lights on. Oh
no! Like, I need a nightlight, please, thank you.
Right, William Hall, man. All this, but okay, all right. I'm gonna let you finish.
I got one more of the history. So the first Constitution was enacted in 1835, but statehood was delayed until 1837 by the so-called Toledo War a boundary dispute with Ohio. The, quote, war centered on what is known as the Toledo Strip, a narrow piece of land on the southern Michigan border that ran westward from Toledo on Lake Erie to the Indiana border. According to the ordinance of 1787, which had been established the Northwest Territory,
way long ago, yeah,
the land should have gone to Michigan. And that's where we get the phrase, Holy Toledo.
I believe it's pronounced Holy Toledo.
There you go.
So that was in 17 something when they did the land, 1787. So it's just like, okay, I live in a house and my neighbor all of a sudden built a fence and it's on my property. Like, hey, motherfucker, this is mine and I need to be ratified as a state. It's coming up quick to 1837 and I'm going to have a war if you don't back off my goddamn lawn.
Yeah. And so Ohio stated some other documents that were incorrect and were later than the 1787. That's what created the Northwest Territory. So it literally, right. they stole it. They just stole it.
America. Welcome to the country. Yeah. America. Jesus Christ. So it's a good punchline. It's a great joke. It feels so dirty when you have to live it. Like, oh no. But it's funny to say, yep, of course we did that. America. God damn it.
We got some messages, and this is, I'm not going to talk about, I'm not talking so much history, right? Yeah. So,
well, let's do messages, and we're going to play some messages now, and we'll respond, retort, regurgitate, probably because we're going to do shots. No regurgitating, John. You pay for that booze. You keep it in your system. It's yours to own.
You know, April's right around the corner. April in the D, baby. Let's go.
Is that a good thing? I don't know what that is. April in the D. I feel like that. And now come to the stage, April in the D. All right. First time dancer, April in the D. I don't know.
I know of It's So Cold in the D, but I don't think that's the same thing.
No, it has to be because April's cold as shit, I'm sure. That's what she's saying. Come on, John.
It's really weird because back in school when we learned those things, our state flower was the dogwood, which is really a tree. So figure that out. It's also a flower, but it's just fucking weird how things fucking change.
Right? There's so many jokes to make. There's so much to say. Not about fucking, but in general, it's like, yeah. No, go ahead. I remember. Go ahead. Yeah, keep going. Let's get through.
And obviously, the animal used to be the Wolverine. And now it's the Robin. You're teaching me all kinds of things, John. All kinds of things. Yep. This podcast, love it.
Yeah, it's still the Wolverine. The animal is still the Wolverine. The state bird is the Robin. Right. John didn't get into. He doesn't. John, let me just go ahead and say, John doesn't believe in land mammals. When in his podcast, he is anti-land mammal. He's only of the avian species.
Aviary.
I believe it's called Etienne. He came to here. Look at me. I found ale. This is very beautiful.
Right. The bird is that earlier. I had seen that about the Wolverine being the state animal, but I mentioned earlier that it is the Wolverine state. So yeah, that's still 100%. That has not changed.
But the one thing that I think that I am now going into Wikipedia and updating that their state motto is beep-a-dee-deep, beep-a-dee-dee-dee-deep, beep-a-dee-dee-dee-deep. And saved. Okay.
Superior is the coldest, deepest, choppiest I don't know. I don't think it's the prettiest lake. I think Lake Michigan is the prettiest lake, in my small opinion, but I digress.
I think Superior is the way that I feel towards John most of the time. Michigan is the state he's in that I'm jealous of right now. So I really know where you're coming from. I heard your words and I appreciate them. Man, you fuckers.
Which is why, to this day, any respectable Michigangsta despises the Ohio Buckeyes. Doesn't matter if you're a State fan, are you a Van fan, doesn't matter. Anything Ohio, down with the Buckeyes, bro.
So now I understand. That makes more sense to me of those because I get some college rivalries, but I don't understand where they come from. That now totally makes sense.
Yep.
Like, yeah, that's the Hatfields and McCoys, basically.
Yep.
Like, you took our jobs. Now you took our jobs. You took your jobs. No, wait, that's something else.
I hear a lot of Michigan talk. Oh, wait.
Oh, shit. And now, this is where we come in hot, baby.
There it is. Wow.
Lines have been drawn. Fences
and then redrawn. And then redrawn.
And redrawn. And redrawn again after we did a whole war. We didn't get ratified till 1837 because of this. God damn it. Just stay on your side of the river. Don't make me call Indiana. I'll call Indiana. They know exactly. They know exactly what's been going on.
Don't let me get the Lake Erie hose.
All right. But you know what? See, no, that's aggressive, John. Don't be like that. It's called Spooky Hose, and they prefer to be called Spooky Ladies.
The hose.
It just feels dirty every time you say hose. Like I feel gross. Like I feel like I need to complain against you.
Fun fact about Desert Fox. My dad was a Wolverine and my mother was a Buckeye. If my mom liked sports, I probably would have never been born. You wouldn't even be hearing this message. It'd be like,
that's so fucking funny. Because mom didn't give a shit, but dad was hardcore. And he found her and he's like, I converted her. She doesn't watch any other games on Saturday, but my games. My games.
So we obviously hit a nerve. Let's move on. Michigan is the only state to consist of two peninsulas. The lower peninsula is shaped like a...
I wouldn't stop you there, but like I believe two peninsulas are called peninsulae. I was peninsulizing. I was actively engaged in walking peninsulas multiple times. And this is, in my life, I've walked a peninsula or 5. But peninsulese, it's shaped like a drongo.
A mitten.
Yeah, a mitten. Like, that's what I'm saying, a mitten, like a
drongo. That's right.
That's what I said. I put it here. You know,
the upper peninsula, often called the UP, is separated from the lower peninsula by the Straits of Mackinac. Mackinac.
There you go. Mackinac.
Yeah.
Hey, Mackinac, John. I don't know where you're from.
It's a 5-mile channel that joins Lake Huron to Lake Michigan.
Right, but it's separated, and that's the whole thing. And that one is shaped like a
peninsula.
Mole on my aunt's back, shaped like Abraham Lincoln. Strange. Go ahead.
Michigan is bordered by 4 of the 5 Great Lakes, plus Lake St. Clair, and with the longest freshwater coastline in the United States. It also has roughly 65,000 in-lake inland lakes and ponds. 65,000 inland lakes and ponds. Michigan has the second most water of any state, behind only, Pete, what's the most water in one state?
In a state?
Mhm.
Contained in a state?
Yes.
In a state?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, and it's not Michigan?
It's the second.
Minnesota?
It doesn't have to be
Hawaii.
It doesn't have. No, that's outside of Hawaii. Hawaii
No,
is
it's
the
in
island.
like there's holes in it. If you've ever seen a volcano, John, have you ever popped a pimple so deep it went to your soul? That's what Hawaii is, and that's why all the water in the Pacific
Actually,
is Hawaii.
Just once, and I still have a hole in my arm because of that. Anyway,
that's a piercing that I did when you were drunk and I told you it was a pimple. That's another story. Go ahead.
The water does not necessarily have to be in liquid form. You want to guess again?
It's going to be Alaska.
That's right, baby.
Yeah, but also, if you go to Oregon, the water doesn't have to be in liquid or solid form. It's in aerated form, and it's very misty there. So I promise you, if we condense all that water, John, I will win that conversation. It's Pacific Northwest. It's the state of Washington. I win.
The state of denial. I win.
The state of, yep, and I win. Yep, the state of denial.
So speaking of water, in 2011, yeah, maybe we should. Yeah, this next part is the serious part.
Ugh, are we not even there yet?
No, we're there.
John, maybe
we're there.
How about this? No. How about this? How about pop a couple bubbles and let's pour the shot? No,
because
let's get
into
ready
it.
to go in. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm ready. Let's do it. Go ahead.
In 2011, when Flint, cash-strapped and shouldering a $25 million deficit, fell under state control, Michigan Governor Rick Snyder appointed an emergency manager, basically an unelected official chosen to set local policy to oversee and cut city costs. This precipitated the tragic decision in 2013 to end the city's 5-decade practice of piping treated water for its residents from Detroit in favor of a cheaper alternative, temporarily pumping water from the Flint River until a new pipeline from Lake Huron was built. Although the river water was highly corrosive, Flint officials failed to treat it, and lead leached out into aging pipes into thousands of homes. And in early 2016, a coalition of citizens and groups, including Flint resident Melissa Mays, the local group Concerned Pastors for Social Action, and UCLA, sued the city and state officials in order to secure safe drinking water for Flint residents.
Okay, and the horrible thing about that, folks, is that was a really, really, really cleaned up version of all the bullshit that happened.
Of course.
Like a super cleaned up and of the process of the installing of the puppet who did it to cut costs, the televised look how much money we're cutting when he flipped the switch on camera of here's how we're boom, it's like an electric chair switch. You've just killed half the community or infected them horribly. And all the things that happened and all the denials and all the other bullshit that happened after the fact. John.
That's the worst of it. So the efforts of that coalition, let's shoot to them because the efforts of the coalition did pay off. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh.
In November 2016, a federal judge sided with Flint residents in order the implementation of door-to-door delivery of bottled water to every home without a properly installed and maintained faucet filter. A more momentous win came the following March of 2017 with a major settlement requiring the city to replace the city's thousands of lead pipes with funding from the state and guaranteeing further funding for comprehensive tap water testing faucet filter installment, and education programs, free bottled water through the following summer, and continued health programs to help the residents deal with the residual effects of Flint's tainted water. The events surrounding this inspired the movie Erin Brockovich, the lawyer who had led the initial charge to force the local government to openly admit that the water of Flint was so badly contaminated.
I'm trying to. It's moments like this, John, that you wreck me because you're so tenacious and the things you're saying are so pertinent and so specific, and I feel so strongly about that. I'm trying to find a way out to make a good joke about Pretty Woman, about I'm going to snap your hand shut, Erin Brockovich, that's something about a hamster and a Richard Gere or something, but I can't find a way because. Governments, and it's not governments, it's governments, it's anyone, it's any institution, any conglomeration of people. John and I are an institution. I promise you, in another 2 years, we're going to be in the Smithsonian. We will be an institution.
That's right.
This is what not to do.
We'll have tickets and everything. We'll be there. Right.
It's going to be a whole. This is the beginning of the slow decline of the moral humanity that we've known so well, the two-sided pod. And this is where anyway, at any point you get that way, it's just, things are not good. Like people need, it makes me so, okay. So yeah, the people are beginning fucked. And the thing is, you said, hey, a judge said on a good on you, we're going to give you bottled water for the next year. I'm just saying, myself, personally, me, right? If I lived in a town where I knew my neighbors were dying from the water we're drinking, and they said, like, no problem, you guys win. Here's a case of water every day on your front porch. Like, oh, this is good. I'm not going to die, but I have to live like I'm in the 1950s and pick up my goddamn case of water from the goddamn porch I'm going to cook, right? And this is how I brush my teeth, and this is why I don't bathe. All of these things, all like, fuck that. Yeah. Like when I want my shit, I want it now. I'm goddamn instant gratification.
Yep.
Oh, you were wronged. Cool. Give me everything I'm entitled to. Well, we can't. Here's a hot dog and a Hummer. Here's a Snickers bar and a handshake. Yeah. I just like, fuck, man.
You want a hug?
No, I want you to go back and get me my goddamn pipes and flip that other switch and get it from Detroit and pump it and pay the goddamn money with the non-corroded pipes and let me drink my water in peace.
Yep.
Is what I want.
As of today, most of the pipes have been replaced, and it is essentially okay to drink the water of Flint, Michigan, though most of the residents still have a very strong anti-relationship with it. And so it's, even if they can drink it, why would they trust the government now? If the government in 2013 to 2015 would not admit that it was harming and killing them.
Right. And here's the great joke, because then you could say, like, as if I was Pepsi Cola marketing, I'd be like, you know what? I think you're right. It's not safe. But if you have this crystal clear Pepsi that we've had in a warehouse for 25 years, it's almost like water, and it'll get you caffeinated. Come on.
And possibly really high. Let's try it out.
No, but this stuff will.
So you said I created this, I talked about very pointed things, and it was hard for you to get us out of it. I want you to get us out of it. I talked about one big movie that came out of Michigan events. Let's talk about another movie to end this here segment. Pete, do you have another movie in mind that might have been inspired by things that happened within the state of Michigan?
I do. One of my favorite movies of all time is Detroit Rock City. It's 4 kids in the Oh, wait, are we not talking? Which one do you mean? I have movies from Detroit. I got movies from Michigan for days, baby.
This is you.
Like, I don't
think
you understand. Okay, but my thing, like when you're talking about sieging, being like when Pontiac was sieging Detroit for 4 months, like the joke was like, who can what part of the year was that? Because I hope it was summer, because
definitely the summer.
You only have to deal with mosquitoes and the goddamn sweltering heat. Not a problem. Hey, I hope you get the wind coming in from the lakes there, don't you, Pontiac? Hey to you too, friends. Okie dokie. I don't know, man. But Detroit, like, I love the music. I've been watching a lot of there's a lot of great chefs coming out of Detroit, but I'm sorry, their music, for me, it was first. And it was, I'm not like, don't hear me out. I'm not like a fucking biter on all this shit, but Eminem was first because Dre helped him, and I was into with Dre. I was in with Dre. Shut up.
You were into Dre.
Yeah.
You were following Dre.
You know me. Come on. Before there was InstaSnap, and I just knew who he was popping. And so I knew M.
I'm still Jenny on the block.
Right? Yeah. No, I knew when she was, before she was J-Lo, when she was still Hey Ho. Hey Ho. That's how I knew her. Backup dancer. In living color.
In living color.
Anyone? I'm just saying. Hey Ho. Yep. Anyway, John.
She owes her entire life to the Wayans, the Wayans brothers.
Not at all. Not at all. Her agent, we'll do a deep dive on J-Lo because she's a goddamn princess.
There you go.
I can say hey ho because I adore her. You can just say it because you think it's joking, and I won't. I'll write that down. That's fine. That's fine.
I just called her Jenny on the block. Let's go.
We're gonna have. We're gonna have Toledo War, John. We're gonna have an Ohio-Michigan front off here. Here's the deal, John. This is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Eminem first, but then I want to get into D12. So, no, wait. You're talking movies. Okay, 8 Mile. 8 Mile is a very good conceptualized piece. Very loosely based. However, it did have some key characters who had come up in his life who were loosely represented. And the beginning of D12, which was really fucking awesome. So anyone out there who likes any kind of hip hop, and then once you get into D12, you can look at the individual artists because everyone have their own spin. Yeah. So I'm just saying, look that shit up. That's where I am. Thanks, Detroit.
Okay, so you just derailed yourself. You were saying it was loosely based on. Nope, that's it. That's your talk. Okay, you're done. Hey.
Oh wait. Oh, loosely based on Eminem's life of him growing up and starting. Marshall Mathers, Eminem, who started rapping, who was a white guy in the deep Detroit 8 Mile scene, where he would go to rap battles in underground places. And he was working factories and doing like struggling, life, just life. Yeah. And that was his life. And they did a theatrical version of it with great music where he did do a couple hit songs. And if you look at like the behind the scenes stuff is my favorite.
Yeah.
Like the great produced stuff is fun, but behind the scenes of like when people are just hanging out, because there's so many people in that. Anyway, so.
And the main song was recently featured at the Super Bowl, the first a halftime show to feature any hip hop rap.
Which is so long overdue.
So long overdue. Come on, country for decades, then some rock, then a whole lot of pop, and finally.
All the pop.
Lots and lots of pop. Yeah, for the past 20, 30 plus years, pop.
Right.
Yeah.
If we can't pull one of the Jackson family's titties out at the next Super Bowl show, I will be very upset.
Well, if you like what you're listening to, we are currently recording every episode of Two Sided live on the Stereo app every Thursday, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and also live streaming on the YouTube channel Two Sided Podcast. We're on Instagram and Twitter at Two Sided Pod for each TWO Sided Pod, and we have a Gmail for anyone to suggest topics or to come on to our Tuesday open chat stereo shows. That's two-sidedpod@gmail.com, TWO-sidedpod@gmail.com. And we've gone viral. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and elsewhere by searching Two-Sided. We'd love if you follow us on those platforms, subscribe, and hit that alert on YouTube, and follow us on Stereo if you haven't already. We thank you kindly.
I'm going to go ahead, and I know you've written that whole spiel, and I don't like the pattern of it, because I want you to say some things first and some things later. But there's also things I want to retort by, because we've gone viral, folks. So if you go ahead and search virus two-sided, you'll come up with some real horrible pictures. And that will be what you need to focus on. Think about your life choices and why you're listening to us. If you like what you're hearing, you fear what you're seeing, and you can't believe your feelings, hit that subscribe button, hit that alert button. Don't be afraid. I don't know, man.
Oh, I know this one. This is the only thing we get taught in Australian history about America, that the Lower Peninsula is shaped like a drongo.
He knew it. He knew exactly what I was talking about. He knew it. God damn it. I love me some Mr. V. Like, he's like the brother I drowned in the tub. I adore him. And I'm sad he's gone.
It's called Mackinac, the Straits of Mackinac, Mackinac Island, Mackinac. I just got killed. That is hilarious. Mackinac.
You say Mackinac, I say Mackinac. Let's call the whole thing off. No, that's not it. You say tomato, I say shut the fuck up, John. Let's call the whole thing off. All right.
Oh, I know this one too. The most water in a state. All right, so the most water in a state is liquid, because if it wasn't liquid, it would be either a solid, which would make it ice, or a gas, which would make it vapor.
He went on my same thing, but now that you think about this much, I will go on a limb, John, and I want to see the scientific research. I want to go to the Princeton, Harvard research study groups, because I think the most water would be Florida, because so many senior citizens have water on the knee. Shit, that was awful. Go ahead, play the next one.
Hey, if he's trying to get all smart, I'm going to get all smart. They're trying to find water on the moon and other planets. Obviously, they know it's going to be in ice form, but they still call it water. So it's also the general term for that chemical.
Right. And at that point, I'm going to get smarter on that. And it's like, you know what? They've searched in John's Uranus, and no water has been found or forms of life.
And what's even worse is it's 2022, and the majority of Flint residents still do not have clean drinking water.
See?
They still do not have clean drinking water.
See, John? That's what I'm saying. Like, you open a whole big bag of worms of, let's talk about.
There's so many things. That's the thing about any state. Michigan, is big with it. There's so many different things I could have talked about. There's so many things, and I knew I couldn't
it's a huge
fit
one.
it all in.
And I'm glad you only went that way.
Yeah.
No, but the great thing with that, because you only stayed on that topic of Flint, which was great. But the thing that I can say about the people there, because once they got, all right, I don't want the bottled water. I don't want the daily deliveries. I don't want that shit. But goddamn, they're resilient.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is our town. This is our state. This is where I live.
Yeah, NOLA reminds me of New Orleans.
Exactly.
Especially post Katrina, but really all throughout, because they've always had bad rap.
Yeah, this is where we are. This is my people. This is how I roll. And it's like, all right, so I drink water from my sink and I die. All right, perfect. I don't do that anymore, and moving on. And and you just deal with the shit.
Come on, like, and I respect the shit out of that, man.
And that's why I was like, fucking Michigan gangsters, good people, fucking dirty men. Hell yeah.
Unfortunately, the implementation of all of that has failed. They have it's so dirty. It's so wrong.
Girl. Okay.
Well,
John,
one thing I will say, the implementation has made it known where the level of safe / clean, which, right, these are two different things, and it's really stupid to differentiate. But the testing of the water, the continual testing of the water, which was a major thing of that initiative, makes it known to them at all times where the water is. And so even if it's not safe, or if it's safe but not clean, and they got to filter it a little bit just to make it like, not so gritty, dirty. There is that, and that was not there beforehand. And so, if anything else, there's a whole lot of
red tape.
Yeah, right. But that itself is a good thing. That's information. That's what we need to have, and that's what was not given to them for so long, for 3 years essentially.
Okay. I'm with you. Information. You know what? I'm with you that if you do not have that information, you cannot move forward. Right. If you have that information, you're like, oh, wow, I'm actively fucked. And like, okay, I can move forward. But it doesn't change the fact that you have been broken and abandoned. It's just like it's like the same thing around here. Like you go to any mountain communities up in Southern California, down in Southern California.
Yeah.
Up, I say, because it's in the mountains.
Right. Yeah. Up
like
from
you go to
sea level up
for me. Yeah. Like if I was a topographic map, I would be so popular with the school kids in 6th and 7th grade. Look at my mountains. I don't know. Anyway, up in Big Bear and places like that as you're driving up the mountain, it's like a fire danger warning, and there's a meter of where,
right,
of what you can and can't do. It's like, oh, we're in green, yellow, orange, red.
Yep.
Whatever.
I know from Arizona. Yep.
Right. And it's like, all right, we have knowledge. Like, but why are we just having signs and knowledge? Why can't we figure out like, hey, how about let's figure out some way to not have giant forest fires? Like, yeah, it's very dangerous, but I believe you could rake the forest. I heard that was a thing. If you raked the forest.
Forest maintenance,
right? We all have work release programs, baby.
That's right.
Rake my forest. It's a new game show on Fox. It's we get 77 prisoners and we release them in the forest, and whoever can rake the most lives to see another day. Rake that forest.
Rake with a K, right?
Oh yeah. But the funny thing, the play on words is all the prisoners are rakists.
Anyway,
we're saying with a K, right?
The one thing I didn't really find, since we're still on it, is why didn't they just switch the pipe back to Detroit? I don't know why, especially when everything happened. They're like, oh, okay, we'll clean it up. But like, why didn't they just it was fine up until that point, up until 2013, when like you said, publicly pulled the lever. Why not go back? But I don't know. And if any of the natives do, please, because my research was superficial at best.
No, I think because it goes back to William Hull back in 1812.
That's right.
What he did, he was all about giving his friends and family gifts of pipeline pieces. So I'm guessing that when they were said, oh, we're switching this off, they started disassembling and started making, oh, this is now wherever this road was running or this pipe was running, this is now we're re-establishing infrastructure for roads, for highways, for other things. So you can't run the pipeline. The pipeline's not there anymore. Like at least in 2 or 3 places. So like, yeah, you have it, but you'd have to revert all these things because they've now, the whole thing of turn this off was to build infrastructure, this is how we're going to develop our money, develop our community. And on paper, it's like, yeah, great. But, and now you're like, oh, switch it back. Like, you've already sold these rights. These are already built. You've destroyed 3 or 4 parts. You don't own this land anymore. What are you going to do? You done drop your pistol when you busted the window. What are you going to do now?
Guys, speaking of hip hop, are you guys familiar with Tom McDonald? Dude, that guy is freaking off the chain. He is probably my favorite rapper. And I have a couple of favorite rappers, but he's probably my favorite. You gotta listen to him if you haven't already. He spits some facts, and he don't give a shit.
No.
Anyways, Tom McDonald, y'all.
No, I'm down. Because he was part of Tom McDonald's from Canada. Like he was in the Shady Con where he was with Eminem.
Yeah.
But he wasn't produced on that. He did an instrumental. M did an instrumental for him, but he's dope as shit.
Yeah.
Like he's dope as shit. And like, if you don't think Canada comes hard, John, well, I don't think you understand about just rap coming hard anyway. But Canada, it's all Bryan Adams, bro. We got some.
Lose yourself in the moment you own it, you got it, you better never let it go, yo, you only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow, this opportunity comes once in a lifetime, you better.
Girl, I'm such a big fan of Foxy Lady. Anyone out there follow Foxy Lady or Foxy and Mind Fox? 2 fucking solid folks on stereo. They're on. John, we need to know all over the things so we can pop their shit too, because they have more stuff and they're better produced than we are. They're better people than we are.
That sounds like a similar pronunciation debate. Prescott versus Prescott.
Right. Oh, 100%. Prescott. Oh, well, no. If you're local, and let you know, it's Prescott. if you're AZ, baby, come on, it's Prescott.
Who's that quarterback? Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott. But if you are outside of the state of Arizona or the Southwest region of the United States, that's Prescott. Like, no.
Hey, what's the name of that 4 Corners state that's the top west one?
Wow. Now we're quizzing on geography, John. I barely made it through the last thing about Ohio being with Indiana. Like, come on, man.
That has Las Vegas in it.
Nevada?
What is it?
Nevada?
That is correct. Not Nevada.
Nevada? Yeah, it's Nevada. I'm saying, but it's
congrats on going viral and your Apple Podcast. It's dope. Have you guys thought about going over to Clubhouse and streaming there too? I mean, why not go for 3?
See, John, I don't know where these places are. I want to go to places. I want to see things. I want to see the world, and I want you to be my Sherpa and carry my bags. Can we go to new platforms and climb new heights?
I like clubhouses. No dogs allowed.
Okay. Number 1, worst clubhouse ever. Dogs are always allowed. Girls are maybe subjected to a test of litanies of like, are you cool? Yeah. Are you really cool? Yeah. Do you like to smoke weed? Even if you don't, are you cool? All right, come on in. But dogs, yes.
We already know how to prevent major forest fires and major bushfires. The problem is the environmentalists were like, you can't do that because you're destroying their homes. And what I'm referring to there is burning off in the cooler months. If you burn off all that shrubbery and all that bloody foliage and leafage along the ground and shit in the cooler months, so it's not there to catch fire, you're not going to have a fucking forest fire. Or at least you're not going to have a severe one anyway, because there's nothing really to spread it. Oh, you're destroying their homes. No, they will move, and then they'll come back. A major ass fucking forest fire kills millions of animals every year. That's destroying their homes and their lives. What's worse?
100%. Like 100%, 100%, 100%. Bro, and the thing, okay, you know what? I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. And that was, so anyone, Mr. V is in the fucking Aussie Outback. He's our mate down there. And the shit that they had to go through with those wildfires that could be seen from space and the amount of devastation for the animals. And that was what, like
our Western United States fires were nothing. Nothing compared to that.
Nothing.
Like the Amazon was more than what we had, and that was still kind of nothing compared to that.
Nothing. And it's just like the thing, like when you're, when you start like, yeah, okay, like, oh, there's a couple in Southern California here. It's a lot of, you don't ever think about that level of death. You do, but you don't think about that level of that it's like, oh, here's some nice houses and here's a community and here's some,
right. We think of the money.
Houses. It's like the people, the money. And it was like, oh yeah, this land is charged. Like, it was kind of shitty anyway. It was just all sparse and hilly. But you don't think of like all of these, the hundreds of thousands of millions of animals. If you look at everything that was destroyed, like, and some of those videos that came out of there, like, broke my heart, bro.
The baby koalas hanging onto the dog.
Fuck. Oh no, the baby koala that was drinking water out of the water bottle, and it was all like, fuck, bro. All my so anyone who knows me, I care nothing for people unless you're worth your salt. Like, that's true. No, I just like, if you're not a good human, good on you. I wish you the best, but I care nothing for you. If you're good, I will move bodies or make bodies for you. But animals, every single human I meet, the more I love animals. Like, they're just, even an asshole animal, a cat, a dog, a bird, no, fuck snakes. I'm a little Indiana Jones because snakes are assholes. I don't need to fuck with them. But anything else, man.
Scorpions?
No. They glow in the dark. I'm okay with them. They're good at raves.
That was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
It still is pretty cool. Anyone, hey folks, anyone who goes to Arizona, Foxy, get a black light. Well, she knows this. She fucking knows this. They live there.
Yeah.
That was our favorite thing, to go scorpion hunting with a black light and like, there's one. It's like, how is this? And it's like, okay, if I put two on strings and I like whip them around, like, is this your first? I'm spinning them. It's like, is it
I hit you in the face. Party? We got to go to the hospital.
Right. Is this your first scorpion party? You want some water? You want a back rub? You want a scorpion party?
Woo! Want some big
scorpion light show. Woo! Stupid, man.
let's hit this and jump into our next segment.
I hope it's fun. I hope it's funny. I think it's good.
Pete, do you know about doesthedogdie.com? I feel like it was designed for us. I think John knows about it because I'm very adamant about it.
Oh, he's never told me, and I don't like the name of the title.
I know the name itself is horrible, and I think I told you, and you were like, maybe a little drunk. I don't know why, but
no, that's not that. The name literally doesn't sound like me. But go on.
It's about movies, And so if you're like, oh, that movie is cool, I want to watch it, but you know that you are triggered from any movie in any situation where there's like of old age, of something tragic, whatever. Go to doesthedogdie.com to make sure that there's no dog that dies.
It doesn't have that trigger.
Yep.
Okay. So I wouldn't have to watch Big Fish ever again.
That's right.
It's a great movie. Anyone who's not seen it, I recommend it if you have a very good relationship with your father, or you're not triggered by what is and what wasn't and what could be, and all of your communicative influences and your dreams and hopes and aspirations.
Storytelling and yeah.
Anyway, also, I highly recommend focusing on being Obi-Wan Kenobi, because after that, he did that. So 6 of 1, Obi-Wan Kenobi. No, I gotta look at this. I don't like that.
I actually have a black light in the apartment we just moved out of. The last couple years we lived there had a big scorpion problem, so I'd have a black light out. And when I'd let the cats out, I would start looking around in the dark corners, making sure there wasn't anything glowing in the dark. There always was.
Right? Always.
What you have to do in the desert is try one of the fucking lollipops. You know, the ones with the scorpions in them?
Yep.
Big business.
I eat them.
And we have the gas station next to our house also sells like sour cream and onion crickets.
Oh my God.
Shut up.
They had suckers with ants in it the other day. Rick eats that shit.
I will.
That's disgusting.
I definitely will, because one of my favorite things was to drive between Safford, where we went to college, and Tucson, and you'd have to drive by The Thing.
Yep.
All through Arizona.
What is The Thing?
What is it? The Thing. 478 miles.
Have you seen The Thing?
Wendy's next door. Pilot gas station. What is it?
Yeah. Built within a gas station. It's great. What is The Thing? We are now experiencing.
I've never been to what is the fucking island? Catalina,
outside of California.
I've never been to Catalina in Southern. I've been here for 10, 15 years. I've never been to
Buffalo.
Catalina. Yeah, never been. But it's like, yeah, in Arizona, it took me like 6 years to get to The Thing, and once I went, I'm like, this is literally the best place I've ever been in my life. Not only you can get a Wendy's McFlurry, or not a McFlurry, a Blizzard.
Blizzard, right? Yeah, the Wendy's Blizzard.
Yeah, it's the McFlurry is the bastardized cousin of the Blizzard.
The McCousin, right?
McCousin. Oh, they're over here. No, they're not. They're all American. Anyway, there's a whole tchotchke shop of Arizona, and only Arizona and New Mexico can do. There's like, do you like scorpions and tarantulas and things in belt buckles, or ice snow globes, or paperweights, or do you like t-shirts? All of the things you're saying, yes.
Yeah.
All of them. You like posters of snakes and coyotes? Yeah.
Yep.
That's your goddamn ass, I do.
I call them coyotes.
Yeah. Is this or is this not America? If you turn to page 4 on that poster sheet, it's called America. Coyote. Hell yeah. So it's so good. And then you get the Thing, what is it, tour. And it used to be, when I was in college, it was 75 cents. And then it moved up to $1.50. And now it's like the last time I was there, it was like $2.50 or like $2.75.
Inflation, man, 400%. Holy crap.
It's hard to live these days, Joe. It's definitely hard to live these days. But you walk through, it's a walking tour, and it's just kind of it's like little hand bunkers, like things you would enclosed RV parking, like military, like dome weird, like it's almost like a double wide, but it's made out of metal, and there's doors on each side, like, but there's cement floors, and all of their shit is okay, here's like, hey, this could be, here's a limousine that could be Hitler's car. And like nothing is, and nothing's dusted. It's all dirty. There's cobwebs everywhere. And when you get to the thing, after all this like weird shit, it's like, what am I looking at? Like, it's just very awkward Arizona. The thing is a weird mummified, maybe baby, maybe not, maybe something, maybe not, in glass.
Yep.
You're like, what am I looking at? But it's all dirty and everything. Like, I can't even see. Like, what? That was a good 75 cents spent. I feel very good about that purchase.
Similar to the Coney Island Sideshow Museum.
Damn straight.
Yep.
Not as dirty. I think Coney Island, because of the sea salt, I feel like they have to keep it moist. No, they have to keep it wiped because otherwise it'll contaminate. Whatever. Mold. Mold. There you go. Mold.
There you go. Contaminate. Flint water. Transition. Lightning round.
There's a sound of a coming down in a lightning round. I'm sorry, I have a little something in my throat. Do you have something to drink? Any water? I prefer a cocktail. I heard all that bad talk about water. Oh, yeah! Lightning!
Our second lightning round of the evening is your favorite and mine, Editorial Dick. That's where I give my boy Pete a headline of an article, and he editorializes purely based off of the headline.
Okay. And it's like, this is the one that, like, I always have to clarify because I know we've gone through this. I feel like this is part of our tit and our tat, our give and our take, our two-sided TWO-sided pod at gmail.com, that you say the same things over and over. I always have the same arguments and I never remember. So this is one of those occasions. Is this the thing where you say a thing and I don't get to, I just like, you know what? Fuck you. And I get to do that.
Right. You don't look too far. Okay. So though my boy Pete sometimes projects himself as a not too smart guy, he's a very educated, very knowledgeable, very up on current circumstances kind of guy, especially the news. And so when he hears some of these headlines, especially ones with news subject stories where he is familiar with it, he wants to like dive deep. And this one is him editorializing purely based off of the headline.
Headline, perfect. You said circumstances, not circumcises. So I'm still with you. Perfect. Headlines, editorialize, surface level, my boy Pete. Woo! Here we go. Anyone who likes what they're seeing and who's scared of what they're seeing and who's afraid of what they're feeling, I am too. Hit that subscribe button. Maybe we can save each other. Hit that like button and alert, and we'll figure out from here. John, let's editorialize, baby.
Our first headline. Donald Jr. tried to explain his father's love for dictators and,
Okay, here's the deal. Easy editorializing. Hey, did you not receive enough love from your father or too much love from your father? And you're always trying to figure out a way to figure that out mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Oh, and baby Jesus, he's alive too. So you still get to deal with that internal aggressive connection there. Oh, I mean, of course you do cocaine. Come on, man. You got to give him some slack. You were raised in a goddamn broiler and you know nothing else. My favorite, you know what? Editorializing, your life is not on a good track when you are defending horrible actions and you are fucking the leftovers of the governor of California. That is not a good thing in life.
Next headline. Disney employees, quote, angry over response to Florida's LGBTQ bill.
Okay, so that one I saw the beginning. I saw that Disney was going to meet with DeSantis because that motherfucker's an idiot who literally, that as an editorializer, I love Disney. Disney's one of the magical places on earth. And I feel like they need to keep the magic and they need to keep the peace. However, there are certain things, and the bill that Florida has passed has nothing to do with that idea, that presence, that anything. However, Disney has always supported the right after Walt has left. So once he's gone, we're on I'm going to go on a limb and say after Pocahontas, we got on the right side of things. We were not on the right side at Aladdin, and we figured it out after that. But now we're good. So, of course, fuck that Florida bill. Up with Disney. If you don't like the things that Disney, because the head of Disney, and that's what I'm saying. My caveat is I don't know. Because the head of Disney told DeSantis, we don't like this. Are you saying that Disney employees are saying, like, we don't like that you said no, or we don't like that we're with? I'm unsure of the headline. I didn't read it. I was just like, yeah, of course. Like, of course people don't like it. And anyone who doesn't like it, like, fuck them.
Yeah.
Like, that's awful. It's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful.
You had a good thing going, and then you kind of spiraled out into your own. But yeah,
literally, this is exactly how I live my life, John. I have a really good thing going. I spiral out into just ineptitude and just nonsense. So, and that, folks, you've heard it here. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next Sunday in the papers.
And that's how you bring it all back. All right, third headline. 2020 census undercounted Hispanic, Black, and Native American residents.
Oh, shit. 22, 23, 24. My therapist said I have to count to 50 before I can respond to things that trigger me so much. I'm going to try to make a small caveat and make that okay in the 37. Here's the deal. People of indigenous races, people of color, people who are our people, these are people, these are Americans, it doesn't matter if you're American or not. Literally, you're a goddamn human being. 46. This is the thing you need to realize, that as long as you're a good person and trying to make your way in the world, you should not be undercounted. You should not be underprivileged of your choices in life, of your religion, of your sexual orientation, of your goddamn dress, of your country of origin. None of them should make any difference of how you're counted and seen as a human being. 48. Because all of these things, the reason they're undercounted is because if you look at the congressional districts and you look at the gerrymandering that goes on, you have less counted people, so they get less congressional votes, less district votes. So therefore, that community of whatever is more of people of color get less representation, which is fucked. 49. So I say it's par for the course. And this is what we all need to do. We all need to be aware and be aggressively writing small emails. If you can write to us at twosidedpod@gmail.com, that's TWOsidedpod@gmail.com, you can write to your senator. You can write to your local congressman. You can send the number. And that is one thing that we will do, John, because that is something I definitely believe in. I'm a pest in the ear of Aguilar. I'll be honest. Like, hey man, what are y'all doing about this shit?
Yeah.
But I don't say that. But
hey, you code switch.
If you do this,
you change that's what you mean. You turn it into other words.
Code switch, John. And the editorializing and 50 is that if we all do our part, we will no longer be not counted. We will no longer be overlooked. We, and not just us and them, but we as an entire country will be seen, will be heard, will be understood. We, no us and them, it's us. We all sink, we all swim. We live together.
Yeah.
I don't like John. I don't like him. We do this podcast. We live together in this show. Two-sided, baby, my man.
All right, I have one more for you, but I have two options, so you get to choose. Do you want to do a headline with the Whitmer kidnap suspect or with a beauty blogger?
Why do you let me choose? Because I'll take a kidnapping any day of the week.
There you go. All right, you ready? And the headline is, FBI used drones, key fobs, planes to spy on Whitmer kidnap suspect, agent says.
Say that you started the last sentence. Say the last time.
FBI used drones, key fobs, planes to spy on Whitmer kidnap suspect, agent says.
Agent says.
Yeah.
Folks, here's the deal. Of course, we're going to use planes, key fobs, anything to spy on any possible threat. At any point, when we had the last years of our borders being shut down, this is FBI. We can't go anywhere internationally. You are limited to the weird shit that happens within our borders. Of course they use. I'm surprised they didn't use more things. Have you seen wheelies? Wheelies for adults? Wheelies for kidnappers? Well, let me introduce you to the next best thing, John. Wheelies for kidnappers. Hey, folks. Y'all like kidnapping people but need to get away real fast, but sometimes there's a bridge that's been blocked. And your 1994 a Chevy half-ton can't even, you know what? And sometimes it's that 1986 Ford F-150. And sometimes you can't even make it down there. Right? So what you do, you and your boys get your old patriotic wheelies. They're good for kidnappings, adult style. Don't be afraid. Grab a governor, grab them wheelies, grab on home. America. Here we go, kidnapping style.
Silly.
Not an editorial, but I took a hard left because I don't know where to go because that's funny to me. Like, bro, did you see their pictures?
No.
What? Like two of them were shrunk in a microwave. One of them has a weirder beard than I've ever seen. And that's saying a lot from me, bro.
If you'd like to see my boy Pete's beard, join us right now on the YouTube YouTube channel, the Two-Sided Podcast. You can find us live and our back stories.
Our backstories. He was born a young man, never knew his parents. His earth family raised him well, but one day he will then transcend to the stars. Got nothing, John. This is where shit starts. If anyone who watches the show, listens to the show, this is right around right around the funny, serious transition, that's where things start taking a hard left for all of us. And I dig in the hard turn after the last lightning round.
And speaking of that, we got a couple of messages because the last lightning round is now over and we're transitioning into the fun. So let's get
weird. Really weird. It's like I called it weird.
Really fucking great book is Swimming to Catalina. The mayhem and the shit and the fucking left turns that book takes. Wow. But we're talking about, McDonald's and all that shit. How many of these companies have, quote, quote, disappeared from Russia? We're shutting down in Russia. It sounds like Russia is getting healthier and healthier by the minute. No more Starbucks, no more McDonald's, Coke, Pepsi, KFC. All right. I guess I'm good with that. Should we do that here?
Yeah, but then no more weed unless you know your guy, but then he was probably talking shit. So also no more booze because it all goes to the oligarchs. The old no problem is very good. I'll have to dig into my stash. Here's a little secret for all you hoarders out there. If you take your extra septic tank, wash it out, like just a nice little cleanse, and then you can fill it with booze. It's storage forever for booze if you need it.
The bleach would help with the disinfecting, but it also doesn't help with the alcohol. So you know what? The alcohol basically disinfects enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And also, you always like a little mixer, right, John?
I do.
There you go. He calls it lemon juice. We call it pee-pee. Nah.
Let's get this last
hippie.
one.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I've seen Pete's beard. As far as I'm concerned, if he dug his hand around far enough, he'd probably find a ham sandwich. But yeah, I mean, it's a mighty beard.
Thank you, brother.
Nonetheless, mighty beard.
I truly appreciate that. But I actively would really appreciate a ham sandwich right now. Nope, there's
keep digging.
There's nothing.
Keep digging.
There's nothing in here, and I would like a ham sandwich. It's one of those weak. No,
I was going to say, if there was an infinite amount of monkeys looking throughout your beard for an infinite amount of time, I believe a ham sandwich would be found.
I don't know what your idea of monkeys and beards are, but this is not a goddamn portal to the infinite monkey universe of sandwiches, John. You spout nonsense, and I'm trying to bring you back on track, John. Monkeys don't equate hand sandwiches. However, if there wasn't be,
I'm not aware that I've ever had any Russian weed. I'm interested to know. I don't think I've ever had any Russian weed.
I can tell you how.
Yep.
I mean,
I got this one.
I guess it's possible. This seems like a lot of effort, though.
Bro, here's the deal. Let's just go ahead, and it's like you don't have to answer because this is all for anyone in the community. You can answer these questions as I speak through them. Remember that worst day you had at work? Yeah. And you just wanted to get home? Yeah. Because nothing was going to be better than getting away from work, getting out of that car, getting away from this community, getting into your house. Yeah. And just smoking that weed. Yeah. Just having a nice little disconnect, a little moment of silence, a little peace among your soul. Tell me you were not rushing to get that weed. Tell me that ain't Russian weed. Because that, my friend, is Russian weed.
If before you go to the bathroom, you're Russian, and after you come out of the bathroom, you're American. What are you when you're in the bathroom? That's right, European.
You're like, hey, here's the dad joke it stemmed from. Yes, European, John. It's stupid. Let's take the bits we can clean off and move forward. Russian weed, not a dad joke.
Okay, we're popping both of these at once, and then we're moving to our last segment. People,
I dare you.
Oh, motherfucker! I'm driving, so I'm not on the YouTube. I would have loved to fucking seen that live. No, I'm not gonna go back and rewatch it. I don't do that sort of shit.
Oh.
So I've missed out.
Oh, you will.
You will. Digging for a ham sandwich. Russian weed. That was a brilliant lead-up. The punchline was delivered beautifully. That was a good joke. That was a great joke, Pete. I like that. I like it a lot.
It's the small things that make me feel better in life. And like, these goddamn Aussies get humor. You fuckers over there don't understand it on your fucking East Coast bullshit, John. You're all too fucking hoity-toity. Me
I'm
and
the
Mr. V are gonna
westernmost
have
part of the of Eastern Standard Time. Thank you very much. The westernmost part.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of when you clarify anything that's pointed against you. It's really good on your persona. John, what's that funny thing we're going to talk about next? So help me, baby John, two thummy Jesus.
So glad that you asked, my boy Pete, because our last segment of the night is clowns throughout history and today.
Here we go. All right, here we go. Do you want to go first, or should I try to pop all of your bubbles and give you like, I can't read that anymore. Can't read that anymore. Can't read that anymore. Can't read that anymore. Do you want to go, or should I go? You go. I'll let you go.
We'll just lay the foundation, and then we'll see what happens after that. So, the clown is a familiar comic character of pantomime and circus, known by distinctive makeup and costume, ludicrous antics, and buffoonery, whose purpose is to induce hearty laughter. The clown, unlike the traditional fool or court jester, usually performs a set routine characterized by broad, graphic humor, absurd situations, and vigorous physical action. The earliest ancestors of the clown flourished in ancient Greece, bald-headed, padded buffoons who performed as secondary figures in farces and mimes, parodying the action of the more serious characters, and sometimes pelting the spectators with nuts. That same clown appeared in Rome as the mime, wearing a pointed hat and motley patchwork of robes, serving as the butt of all the tricks and abuse of his fellow actors. Clowning was a general feature of the act of medieval minstrels and jugglers, but the clown did not emerge as a professional comic actor until the late Middle Ages, when traveling entertainers sought to imitate the antics of court jesters and the amateur fool society.
Yep. All the things you said. That also, anyone who's listening is not watching on YouTube Live. If you hadn't hit that like and that alert and that I can't believe I'm here button, John put a stupid red nose on. Not even a good clown nose, but a bad one. And then that's why he sounds so nasal. It's also because of the head cold and the cocaine.
Okay, I was supposed to say cocaine.
Nope, go back, Lightning Man. The clown time is for us, not you.
Okay.
The traveling companies of Italian Commedia dell'arte performed one of the most famous and durable clowns of all time.
I need you to rephrase that and think about what you said. Commedia
dell'arte?
Dell'arte. You said dell'arte. Wow. I didn't understand it. It was maybe because your nose was so bulbous and red and swollen. Go ahead.
So this clown is the Arlecchino, which is the Harlequin, which it was created because we tried to simplify it for our language. Pete, remember that from the previous segment?
Yeah, galvanized me. Yeah, but I was saying.
There you go.
Arlequino. Is it John? He tried to make a connection with a different language. When he wears a stupid nose, he cannot pronounce anything. Arlequino. Hey, he's a track record. He says he know nothing about any of the words he says, and I make a better pronunciation. But here we are, a good nose, a good Arlequino, a good galvanizing. So thank you, John. Here we go.
The Harlequin began as a comic valet or a zany person, but soon developed into an acrobatic trickster wearing a black domino mask and carrying a bat or noisy slapstick, which he frequently belabored the posteriors of his victims. Does this sound familiar in comic folklore?
I heard a wheezing when you inhaled in that whistle nose, and I need you to take that out because it's not working for me. No, you can keep it on. It's fine. Put it on your ear. Put it on your head. Do whatever you want. That's fine. Comic folklore.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the Krampus? Are you talking about
comic book folklore is what I was more going for.
Comic book?
All right, let me say it again. The Harlequin became an acrobatic trickster wearing a black domino mask and carrying a bat, a noisy slapstick, which they frequently belabored the posteriors of their victims.
God damn, I hate your Wikipedia bullshit. You're talking about Harley Quinn, the Joker's
girlfriend.
There
you go.
But they belabored the backsides of their people after the masks of John. We're all humans here. John. I know you might feel different with that fucking nose on, but you're one of us. One of us. You can be okay talking like a normal human being. Go ahead. Get it.
Among the first professional stage clowns were the famous William Kemp and Robert Armin, both of whom were connected with Shakespeare's company. Traveling English actors of the 17th century were responsible for the introduction of stage clowns to Germany, among them such the popular characters of Pickle Herring. Pickle Herring is actually a very influential famous clown. So it
also a very delicious treat. If you have the means, I highly recommend picking some up.
That's right. Picking the Pickle Herring up. Pickle Herring and his confederates wore clown costumes that haven't changed to this day. Oversized shoes, waistcoats, hats with giant ruffs around their necks. They still celebrate this version of the clown every year at Carnival in the Rhineland region of Germany, with these costume accents being by far the most worn at Carnival. And they have translated into what we know a lot as the circus clown, or the birthday clown, right?
I don't know about you, but I was more of a Ted Bundy kind of.
We'll get there.
Clown.
Grok.
Fuck you, John. You're literally gonna do Ted Bundy in the fucking fun. You're the worst. At least take your goddamn nose off, because I can't even look at you. Like, I'm having a hard time.
And we talk about that as well. Anyway, so Grok.
No, I will talk about that because I did a master's class on clowning and what costuming is, and the way you're using it is inappropriate and unwieldy. But go ahead, Grok.
Grok was a famous white-faced pantomimist. He celebrated melancholy, resembled that of Emmett Kelly, the American vagabond clown. Bill Irwin maintained the tradition in performances billed as new vaudeville, while Dario Fo, an Italian politician,
I hope he did. At this point.
An Italian political.
No. No, they're not.
No, they're not. Fuck out of night.
No, we're not.
No, we're not. Because if you want to get deeper into it, we
talked about John Wayne Gacy because Gacy was the clown killer. Bundy was the good looking guy. But that's a whole different podcast, and John refused to take his nose off. So anyway, go ahead.
So the whiteface clown of the three types of major clowns can be traced back through the Commedia dell'arte and medieval court gestures of the theaters of ancient.
Say it again, John.
The whiteface clown is the...
No, Commedia. You need to learn how to pronounce that.
Okay, say it again.
No, I didn't say it ever. You've now said it horribly 3 times and once correct. Is it Commedia? Commedia
dell'arte.
There you go. Del Arte. Easy. Buenos dias. Well, how do you do? Come on to our pueblo. Donde está? Bueno. Mucho gusto. Thanks. This fucker has a clown nose on. I am so angry about that. Go ahead.
The white-faced clown is the big brother of the clowning world. In charge, a know-it-all, a straight man setting up the situations that other clowns, like the Auguste or the Tramp, turn funny. The customary features of the white face include a full white face, red and white features, quite often beautiful or delicate, a colorful outfit, and a wig. We owe thanks or blame to this the creation of the whiteface to this English performer who is considered the father of modern clowning. In the early 1800s, Joseph Grimaldi created the character Joey, who reportedly was the first clown to wear whiteface makeup and paint on a large smiling red lips. He also wore colorful, outrageous clothing and specialized in the classical physical tricks. Grimaldi's popularity is so great that remembrances in his honor are held every year at a London church. So the whiteface can be further divided into 3 groups: the classic European whiteface, the straight whiteface, and the grotesque whiteface, which is similar to straight whiteface in the classic, more colorful and cheerful way, but with zanier and more exaggerated features and clothes. The mime, also an elegant clown, known, of course, for not speaking but emoting through body language and facial expressions. The famous whiteface clowns include Frosty Little, Bozo the Clown, and Ronald McDonald, since we were talking about McDonald's. And I believe my boy Pete does not want to be around me in any way, and so I will now remove the nose.
Yeah, that's
the next clown.
So you do a good bit, John, but sometimes you do it a little too soon. It's like, hey, when you're going to come in for a landing, put the landing gear on right before landing. You don't do it when you're like, hey, we're taking off from Ontario, Canada. We're going to go to New York, and landing gear is down. We got 7 hours, and we're going to land soon. How about wait and do it then?
No, I've already proven the point of what that was for. So the next clown is the Auguste.
Because I have, the point is, no, we're going through great clown references, which is fantastic, but we can get to the costuming of what a clown nose is and why it is used. And you used it inappropriately because you did not have what it brings to you. Go ahead. Augusto
is a mixture of whiteface and tramp, and not so hapless as the tramp, but wilder and broader than the whiteface. The classic Auguste appeared as the opposite of the whiteface, with prominent flesh tones and black and white features, a large ball-shaped nose, and extravagant mismatched costumes, oversized neckties, very small hats, etc. The famous Auguste include Cookie from the Bozo Show and Coco. And finally, the Tramp. is a uniquely American clown. Some believe that the idea of the tramp originated with the hobos who rode the railroad. Great Depression. The classic tramp looks with a sooty face, with white around the eyes and mouth. And the tramp is the brunt of every joke. The one who gets the rear kicks gets kicked. The one whose face gets wet from a squirting flower. The customary features of the tramp.
No. Continue to read. Like I like you reading this stuff instead of feeling it and from your soul. Don't speak from your heart and your soul, John. Read the things instead of feeling it, because that's great. Keep on going. Well, the customary tramp after he. No. You're halfway through. You're almost done. So after he gets the one who gets kicked in the boot, who gets this flower squirt in his face, the customary tramp. Continue, John. We're all listening. We're all ears.
What we see with the tramp, very different from the others, and I'm not reading right now, is the stubby beard as the makeup, the downtrodden look as the makeup,
correct,
the ruddy clothes and
correct. You already said all that. You already said all that, but that is exactly what you said, because the tramp was specifically Americana from riding the rails. These were the guys. These were the fuckers who rode the rails, and they're like, "Hey, can you make money?" Like, no, but if I paint my face and I dance around funny, like, all right, well, here we go. And okay, John, go ahead. So anyway,
the tramp has different forms of it as well. There's the classic tramp, the hobo or vagabond, which the manners are more elegant and refined, and he's happy to be in that society as one who's so downtrodden about being in that society. And the big lady, the female version of the tramp or hobo tramp. Famous tramps include luminaries such as Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, Emmett Kelly, and Red Skelton.
All amazing. If you have the time and you have the means, I highly recommend looking up, especially Red Skelton. One of my favorite, like he's one of my favorites. But if you watch Charlie Chaplin's good. It's interesting to see how because it's just like dated. It's a little archaic, but the physical movement, the physicality, the way, for me, a clown is eyes. It's face and eyes. Like it's that whole idea of like, yeah, your body can be moving very, very little, but if you're emoting with your energy and your face and your eyes, you don't have to have a nose. You don't have to have a thing you're hiding behind. You don't have to have a disguise that you feel like you're Superman with. You can do anything and do anything you want. A lot of times people will put the small John, if anyone watched, covered half his face, so his entire nostrils. It was like a goddamn coronavirus test. There was 2 things up his nose. He swabbed himself. Turns out he's not pregnant. But you can have the tiny little red balls, like just one little thing on the top and the end of your nose. Like you don't have to have anything. You can, but it's the idea. It's the same thing as going to a stage show. I'm putting on my costume. I'm putting on my wig. Like whatever this thing is, this now makes me, I am now away from the world. I am no longer me. I am someone else. And so I'm free and independent and safe to do anything at all. Anything at all. And that's one of the things about the nose of the makeup of like, yeah, you could do the white face and you'd have like clowns are laughing, clowns are crying, and you'd juxtapose them. You'd work in pairs, you'd work in partners, you'd have the vagabond, you'd have, yes, all of those things. But as far as the idea of putting I'm goddamn indestructible. Let's go rob a bank. I saw this on a cartoon once, and I'm pretty sure I can pull it off. Let's do it.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's right. We are about to switch, so I'm going to get a couple of these messages. But in that same thing, I want to talk a little bit more. So this is all completely off script for me. We both have the direct connections to clowning. You were talking about it really, really straightforwardly, and I have taken classes in it. And one of the greatest things that I heard from a great clown who I was learning from, they're the most authentic and open characters or beings, representations of you that are. They're just so innocent and so open. And he was saying for his things was they really want to complete the task that they're trying to do, and they have 3 brain cells, and they are trying so hard and earnestly with those 3 brain cells to really complete that task. And almost all the time it fails. But that is an openness that is really rare in all of any kind of like a performance art.
I'm with you, but I disagree because that's very too broad for what a clown is, because some of the best clowns I've seen are when you have the no man, or you have the Mo in the Larry Curly Mo situation. Yep. So you're not open. You don't want this shit to go. You don't want to be here. You have nothing. Nope. I have 3 brain cells, but I'm not trying shit. I think you're all stupid because I know you have 2, and I'm pretty sure I have 3.
Right, so but even with Mo, he's still so open about everything that he's doing, and that's the main thing.
Oh, you're talking yes and. That's just acting 101. That's not clowning. No. But I'm saying character-wise is you're willing to, it's a suspension of disbelief. It's that this could not exist in a normal world. And if I believe it enough and you believe it enough and we all believe it, and either you believe it or you laugh at it because it's too silly to not. You either take part or you get to enjoy and bask in the fun. And that's the thing. It's not we're all good, we're all bad. Like, as a comedian, I'm a piece of shit. I think I'm trying to naysay all the way, baby. But I feel like I bring something to the table, man. Yeah. I'm a little salt, I'm a little spice, I'm a little pepper. I don't know. Not good. Oh, too spicy? Sorry.
And with that, Buster Keaton, we haven't really, like, I mentioned his name, but we didn't highlight him. He was in the time of Charlie Chaplin. He did a lot of the silent films as an American clown, where Chaplin was a British clown. And I didn't really know him until recently, but he is so, like, his clown is kind of trampish, but just I want to get things done, and weird things happen to me. It's not necessarily that I'm stupid. It's just like, oh crap, my girlfriend wants me to marry her and the dad hates me and I have to somehow find my way. And there was an amazing physical thing. That's a big thing about clowns. If it's really good, there's amazing physical feats that just somehow happen. He had 4 people stacked on him, and suddenly, he was on top of 4 people, and one fell down to like a man pipe, and one fell, and it kept on. They got separated.
Wait, no, he actually ate 4 people. Wait, no, hold on.
Hold on. And then it was
human
also
centipede. It was 4 people.
Alien he was actually one up. So he was in the middle of it.
In the mouth of the 4 people. Wait, no, it would have to be your bull. You know what?
But it was in black and white.
And that is what, because it was like the Zapruder film. We just couldn't see exactly what was happening, and we'll leave it at that.
Back into the left.
I just feel like that's the thing. Is like every good theme has been taken, every good concept has been taken and turned into something. People, it's the same thing as rock music. It's the same thing as any music. Yep. There's or any music. There's so many beats in the measures that you can only fit so many in triplicates or like quadruplets or whatever, all the way 16, like however much you're doing, you can only pack so much in, right? Yep. And it's all been done. in any way, shape, or form. Slow it down, speed it up. Movies, themes have been taken into theme
They
parks.
say there's only 7 stories, right?
And variations on those said basics, right?
Right.
So when John says, I'm doing 48 distinct characters, like, nope, he just said 7. And we're all basically off of 7 things, right? I'm going to use that in court of law, motherfucker, just so you know. Right. But that's the thing, is like, you look at what they were doing before, what they've done after Buster Keaton, like it was all, and what did they want to put on television?
Yeah.
How did they want to do it? Right. And so, like,
and how
Mr.
did they
Bean,
stretch the media? Because it was new. Right.
Right. And then you look at the BBC. BBC was really good on anything that was physically could be considered commedia dell'arte.
Bean was fantastic, right? It was a masterclass of physical comedy.
Right. Yeah. So that kind of stuff of and you look at how things operate, and just like even Monty Python, they weren't physical comedians. A lot of them, I mean, they did a lot of physical, but it was their comedy was a lot of facial, a lot of costuming, but their facial, you can sell so much shit. Sir Laurence Olivier, like, you could change a room with just the look on your face, the change in your eyes, sitting quietly in a chair. You could make people cry by changing.
Yeah, Ed Sullivan said, "Please read this phone book," and he did, and Sullivan cried, like not as a stage thing, like he cried because of watching Laurence Olivier read the phone book.
Right, but it's the way that someone can communicate, right?
Yep.
It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter because it's been done. It's can you connect on some level? Can you do it better? Can you make some inroad, right? And if you can't, like, fucking good on you. Have a good time. Here's a hot dog and a Hummer.
It's like what we were talking about with in the Bob Saget segment and one of our early episodes of the documentary on the Aristocrats, because it's about a dirty joke, but the point of the documentary was showing that it's not about the song, it's about the musician. It's not about the joke, it's about the comedian. And if you really make it your own, if you really take it in, it becomes something so universal. Speak to one, speak to all. If you speak to all, you speak to none. If you try to broaden it, it becomes nothing. But if you really like dig in, everybody feels a little part of themselves, whether in the song or the joke or the bit, and they really connect on a huge universal scale.
Yeah. It reminds me a lot of one of my favorite books by Stuart Woods. It was 2009, I believe. It was Swimming to Catalina. It was, I tell you what, my good friend Stone Barrington thought he'd heard the last from his former girlfriend Arrington after she left him and married Vance Calder. Hollywood's hottest star, John. But the last thing Stone expected was a desperate call from Calder. Arrington has vanished, and her new fiance wants Stone to come to LA to find her. You guys, I'm buying this book. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna see if I can't find Stone. He ends up swimming with the fishes himself. Okay, I'm in.
Let's grab these
guys,
these 6 here.
No, let's definitely grab them. But you guys, let's also, here's something we need to do. We're gonna form a literary society. Anyone who likes books, and like, so Swimming to Catalina, that's on our list. We're going to put it on our list, and it's going to be posted to our sites. I'm going to push a couple because it'll be great. And this is how we learn and become learned people, educated. John, do your worst, my friend.
However, a good pilot can land the plane without using landing gear. It does a fuckload of damage.
True.
But yes, it can be done.
True. My good friend Sally Sullenberger said, I wouldn't recommend it. but also screw those geese.
Any crash you can walk away from is a good crash.
Launchpad, my man. Launchpad. If you don't know Launchpad McQuack, you're dead to me. That's all I'm saying. Or Uncle.
Okay, so when y'all are talking about the tramp and the stubbles as makeup and whatever and the dirty clothes, it reminds me of Emmett Kelly. What's his name? Emmett Kelly, I think it is, the fucking famous train hobo guy. That's what that reminds me of.
Exactly. He's a perfect example, of the tramp. He was our Americana version of that.
Very much so. Yep.
What's really interesting, I'm going to keep on popping bubbles because I was going to say,
A fun fact that Charlie Chaplin came third in a Charlie Chaplin lookalike contest. Yeah, so that happened.
I also heard that Charlie Chaplin was in an orgy and he also came third.
Red Skeleton's cool, but for some reason I've always kind of like leaned towards Emmett Kelly. I don't know if it's the pictures that I'd seen painted of him, that the amount of emotion it shows in his face. I just like Emmett Kelly. Red Skeleton is pretty fucking cool though. I mean, pardon my French. He's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. You ain't offending nobody out here, girl. You all family out here.
And Red Skeleton went beyond that role. He did a lot of just regular stand-up. He did a lot beyond that character that he had, or that clown, really, that he developed, where Emmett Kelly really dove in and
devoted his life.
Yeah.
And if you look at, and it wasn't, there's been the name of clowns, because they're copyrighted. Once you have, if you look at, because there is a International Clown College in Florida.
Yep.
You can go to college to become a clown and actively take classes it's a couple years, and you learn from the basics up. I was almost granted in my life, I almost was going to join the circus when it came through Safford.
Right. Yeah, that was not join. That's run away with.
Yeah, no, that was run away with. I got no skills, but I'll mop a cage or what's up with these tigers? I don't know, but it was parking lot Stater Brothers or bashes. That was
it was
parking lot bashes. So yeah, but seeing this stuff of it's amazing these.
Well, Bob Cooper is the artistic director of Value Theater, the most successful theater in Arizona, weirdly enough, and he directed me in West Side Story, and so the clown, the skills that you can do with a clown move beyond so much. And he, at the end of our staging, when we got to the very last moment, when Maria says, "How many bullets, Chino? How many bullets for you, and one more left for me?" He said, "We're actually going to restage it. Keep all the words, but when you say the first you kill Chino, and then you kill another shark, and then you kill a jet, you kill Action, and then left for me, and you blow your brains away." And we were like, holy crap. He's like, "No, I'm just kidding. We're doing the normal stuff."
Yeah. No, I have no idea what that reference was about clowning. And also, I didn't realize that you did it at that theater with Bob. And that literally, I have a huge, okay, emotional crisis right now, whole horrible, I'm broken on my soul on the inside. didn't know that. Okie dokie. Okay, write that down. Okay. Nope, don't write it down.
Nope, don't write it down.
Let's do a shot.
Okie dokie.
See, Pete, and I think you know that when you said I'm no longer me, sometimes it's easier for people to get into character when they don't look like who they are. Like, for instance, the first time I ever did karaoke, I was dressed up in a Halloween costume. I went to a different town where I didn't know anybody. I mean, it was this whole big thing. Turned out I did all right. You know, I was proud of myself, but I was like, even if I bomb this shit, these people will never know who I am tomorrow. So let's do this. And I felt okay with, you know, I was able to do it without freaking out.
It's the same idea. It's the same
Disguises
idea.
are pretty. What's that term that they have that it's about, like, there's only, I mean, instead of having an infinite number of consequences that things can happen or numbers can present before they start repeating themselves. What's that term called? I feel like that's where we live. We're at that point where we're beyond the point of, you know, everything's already been done, so all we can do is change it a little, make it our own. I don't remember the term. I should probably smoke another bowl. Hold that thought.
Most definitely. I'm thinking, one step away from Mad Max. Like, yeah, you're right. Fuck it. No, but not.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. Cheers to everyone listening. Thanks, guys. Thanks,
swearing,
folks.
John. Go.
Colophobia is no laughing matter. The irrational fear of clowns can cause panic and nausea. Although it's a rare phobia, many people find clowns creepy, if not downright scary. So we look at why. The answer lies partly in the prevalence of evil clowns in popular culture. Pennywise and Stephen King's It, both versions, and the book, obviously. However, according to researchers, there's actual psychological reasons why we fear clowns.
No, that's bullshit. That's people trying to write their fucking thesis paper and get a graduate degree. That's not true. There's no reason.
To begin with, a clown's makeup can be unsettling.
No, it's not, like, it's just the same thing. If I had just pierced my nipple and I have an infected nipple and I insist on showing you an infected nipple all through the show, right? It's like, okay, I get it. It's no, you made your point, motherfucker. Are you making a punchline or are you just showing me your infected nipple?
It hides not only the person's identity, but what that person is feeling. Worse, makeup can result in mixed signals. For example, the clown has a painted on smile, but is frowning. Then there's this uncanny nature of makeup itself. The oversized lips and eyebrows distort the face so that the brain perceives it as human, but slightly off. We talked about this before with how we react to certain images. The oddness is heightened by a clown's bizarre costume. In addition, clowns are highly unpredictable as well as mischievous, which puts people on edge. Are they going to squirt water at you or just give you a flower?
Right? You guys, you know what? Let's go ahead and let John put his nose on because he seems very fucking upset that he just doesn't have a nose on for reading this part of his research.
No, I made my point already. I made my points already.
No. You didn't make your point. You said your point was it makes some people feel uncomfortable. No, it doesn't make them feel uncomfortable. It's just like, okay, I get it. What? But hey, you guys want to see Faces of Death? No. All right, we're going to show pictures of this. Are you uncomfortable? I have made my point. Like, what? Why am I looking at things I don't want to see? No. In this scenario, you're not a goddamn clown. You're a goddamn podcast host putting on a clown to make a point, and it's not funny. So that is what I'm upset about. You are not a clown I'm upset with. You are a goddamn ginger with a nose that I don't want to see with a clown nose. in this
And
scenario.
my point exactly is that some people feel that about other people who put on clown makeup at any point whatsoever. It just feels uncomfortable. There's something that's off. Why are they distorted in that way with either the makeup or the oversized clothing or the oversized shoes or whatever? The big hair.
No, do whatever you're gonna do. Oh, it's a show, it's a thing, you're gonna live your life this way. We're in a podcast and you want to be a podcaster with a nose on to do a segment to prove a point? No.
Okay.
No.
Where do you think I got this nose from? I'm not at home in New York. I'm in Michigan.
Oh Lord, John, this answer, it's gonna come from the heart, because there are so many that could come. Because when John says, I'm not at home, where did it come from? This motherfucker travels with harmonicas, hard-boiled eggs. He travels with hot sauces, different spice packets. He travels with different shirts in his bag. He's like, where do you think I got it from? Motherfucker, you are Felix the Cat. I do not know where you got it from. So I'm guessing because this 5-person show in the Dirty Mitten has done you two are clowns, and here's our 1 hour of clown makeup thing, and here's part of your costume for being a clown in your show. Are you wearing a clown nose in the show the whole time?
No.
Okay.
No. It's the answer is much, much worse. I have it in my purse at all times as an emergency nose, just in case, because that's who I am. This has been with me for years.
No, I know. That's, and remember how, John, but no, you're good, because remember we were like, hey, we don't give up our entire background and entire weaknesses to everyone on these shows. And John's like, nope, I have a purse and I keep weird noses for years and years. And I tried to make it good. He's like, nope, that's not it. It's even worse. Like, John.
According to some, the 1970s American serial killer John Wayne Gacy, who performed as Pogo the Clown at charity events and children's parties, solidified the idea of evil clowns. And that trope became common in horror movies and books. So perhaps it's not surprising that a 2016 poll found that Americans were more afraid of clowns than of terrorist attacks or even dying.
Well, you meet a clown, you're gonna die.
Right. It's the old thought. A clown and a child are walking into the woods, and the kid says, gee, mister, I'm getting really scared. And the clown says, you're getting scared. I have to walk out of this alone.
Right. No. Yeah, that's super good. Super good. It's like that one where the clown and the child walk into a bar. The bartender's like, you can't be in here. And the kid says, wait in the car. I'll be outside in a minute. See, John, see how that works? Just loosey-goosey, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. You just kind of go with the flow. You make words rhyme together, and you figure out halfway through. You don't need a fake nose. You don't need a purse. Johnny Two Thumbs, you're okay in my book, man. Hey, everybody out there, can everybody out there give just a clap, a shout-out, a love to my boy John L. Peacock, because this motherfucker is the hardest working goddamn ginger in the goddamn industry. I adore him. I treat him like shit because he needs to know his goddamn place in life. However, he's a saint among peasants. He's a prince among thieves. He's a thief among princes. He's everything you want in a friend and a ginger. He's everything.
Any Supernatural fans here? Sam, the younger brother, is terrified of clowns, and they did a couple episodes where it was pretty hilarious of his fear of clowns, just through shenanigans all through the episode. My best friend Amy, since I've known her since she was 15, absolutely terrified. Cold sweats, shaking, crying, the whole nine if she sees clowns. That's no joke.
Dude, did you see? Did you? And it was the last couple of years. It was, well, no, probably before pandemic. I don't know. I've lost. It's one of those things where I do space time continuum where I'm like, I don't know. These last couple of years don't exist.
Right.
It's like remember back before I had this beard? Yeah, me too. Whatever. Doesn't matter. There was a whole, and I forget what state it was in, but I feel like it was across different states. But there were clowns that would just like stand like across in the woods. Like it had to be like Michigan or like Minnesota or something with like Pennsylvania or something with woods. Wyoming, something like, no, Wyoming's like flat, but something with woods where it's like, and there would be like people would be like, what the fuck? There's a clown just standing there and he wouldn't move and he would just stand there and hold a machete and stand. Like people would be like, what the fuck? And there was all these reports everywhere of clowns just popping up and just standing and watching people.
Yeah. So there was this 2016 this evil clown conspiracy is what you're talking about. It was a hoax, but it was a group of people who literally just went around and did that. And so they were not clowns and they were not killing people, but they were like a comedy troupe. And they just did that because they thought the meta comedy was funny.
See, and I'm with it because it's the same thing as you look at how they did there was that weird thing in San Francisco in the late 70s, early 80s, where they had to decipher puzzles, and it's like cults of people finding. But it's the same thing as
turns out it was just one guy, and
turns out I thought I had mono. Turns out I was really bored. So I stopped making
Zodiac. I'm a Gemini.
Whatever, but the it's like flash mobs, bro. It's like a comedy troupe who's like, flash mobs were so yesterday. Let's do clowns and
machetes. Perfect. Nailed it.
There for a couple of years, I think it was in Florida and some southern states, there were clowns that were like beating people up and stealing shit. There were clown mobs. It was crazy.
Okay, which leads me to, I'll be quiet. Changed over. You good? You're not good?
I'm good.
Okay. Which leads me to, if we could have clowns, the only reason I think we should have clowns outside of specific circus environments or specific theater environments, the only possible way is if we reinvent, and I feel like we're just halfway there in this post-apocalyptic world we almost live in. If it's a reboot of the Warriors, and you have the baseball guys, and you have the Warriors, and you have the clowns now. Right? And then like, Warriors, honka honka, come out and play, honka 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 honka, instead of the bottles. I don't know, but I'm saying I wouldn't fuck with a gang full of clowns. If like, oh shit!
I saw it really smart.
Those clowns are from Queens. Oh, those fucking clowns don't clown around, motherfucker. They'll get you. Fucking look out! They got seltzer, and the other one, it's gasoline. It'll light you on fire. Look out! Those clowns are fucking real legit. Look out!
Hey, we're 6 guys. That's just one clown car. How many clowns can fit in it? Oh crap!
Now we're screwed. Holy shit. 14, 15, 16. Hey, Billy, get the chains. 17. Shit, we're screwed.
Screwed.
Ozo.
If you're a Gemini, John, you got to come back to Michigan for the Gemini party. We literally know so many Geminis. We can't have individual birthday parties. So on June 11th, we just have a big LS party.
Yeah, Gemini party. The sources for this episode of Two Sided have been serious. Wikipedia, Michigan. Yeah, I did it. I try not to, but whatever. Michigan.gov, Britannica.com, NRDC.org. Stories, Flint, water, crisis, everything you need to know. And then for clowning, clownantics.com, clownantics.com, Britannica.com for clowns, and Britannica.com for why are people afraid of clowns.
All right, that was, you know what, pretty good. My references tonight have been Stuart Woods swimming to Catalina, and also Tom McDonald, badass rapper from Canada. Don't mind if I do. Thanks, John.
So with this episode, is there anything throughout it that you'd like to give it like a second look at, a second chance, a second guess? This is another edition of Pete's Retraction Corner.
Here's the deal, man. Here's the deal, John. I feel like this is going to ring true to you on a lot of levels. I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to be a better friend. I don't believe in it, but that's what people say I need to do. So my retraction corner would be to be less aggressive to you with your poor timing of your stupid fucking nose. I should accept you, how you come to the party with nose or no nose because you're my brother. He's not heavy. He's my brother. That's what I need to put into my soul, nose or not. Bing.
I give it to you because I know you like it, but the real thing is I appreciate you. Thank you. I knew it would make you uncomfortable. I didn't know it would be that difficult.
No.
But I knew it would make it uncomfortable.
No, it's uncomfortable, but bro, it's the uncomfortableness is like, that's the thing is I feel like the uncomfortableness is like, it's like when you stage a show and you're in like week 2 and like, God damn, we can drive a truck through the scene. What are we doing? What are we doing? And you're seeing it as like, oh, come on. And that is what I saw. It's not bro, put the nose on. It's like a lot of people feel it's uncomfortable. Pop it with a button instead of like, let's talk clowns for the next hour. And be so sometimes they were like, bro.
I think Sacha Baron Cohen is an amazing modern clown that does that really like Andy Kaufman, right? It's the ones who took it to a level where they didn't put on the clown persona. They didn't put on those traditional costumes, but they were obviously clowns. And they did that to just, hey, here I am. How do you react? And people react in really crazy ways, right?
Right. But you got to understand of how they did those things of Andy Kaufman. If you want to go specifically early back to him, he made a point of Andy Kaufman would not appear. He would make a point of like, he called on on Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
He called his what was his name?
Tony,
shit. Anyway, yeah. He showed up and called Andy.
Yeah.
Like made a point to like, we are not.
Right.
And time and a place. But the Andy would show up as opposed to John L. Peacock, which is like, I'm John L. Peacock. I'm a clown. Here's a clown. Why does this make you weird? Like, because you're not committing to the thing.
Right. Okay. I see your squeamishness with that.
No, not squeamish.
I do not use the nose.
I'm a goddamn professional,
on a normal
John.
basis. I mostly never use it. But what it's there for. So Hunter S. Thompson, who is a literary hero of mine, always had a little tab of acid taped to the back of his ID, just in case things needed to get weird. I don't have that. What I have is the nose. And if things really it's always there. It's like, I feel more comfortable in my life just with having it there. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
100%. 100%. And that's great. because the things that I have comfortable that I need to keep close to me that make me feel safe, I do not need to bring out in the middle of my show.
Wow, we're talking about clowns, bro. Come on.
Hey,
I wanted to see what the reaction was. Hey, and the reaction actually really helped with the entire understanding of my segment. So thank you. Thank you, my poopy.
Again, I'm with you, but I feel like you're missing the point because it didn't, and it's not about my hesitancy towards clowns. Because like clowns, great clowns are great. Bad clowns are bad. Bad timing is the worst of all of them. And somehow I got a clown with bad timing. And you know what? And that is what I'm trying to. Fuck! That's my retraction. See, I can't stop doing it. You're a good man, John. Everybody should be a clown. Feel connected. I love you. Don't like it. Don't like it at all. This is what humanity's about. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We have our open chat show on stereo every Tuesday, same time as tonight. So if you'd like to join us or want to throw some topics out there, email twosidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWO sidedpod@gmail.com. And remember to join us on stereo in the green room right now in 10 minutes on the hour for our after show wind down. That's a wrap for tonight. I'm John L. Peacock from Brooklyn, New York, but currently in the dirty mitten of Michigan.
And I'm my boy Pete in Southern California, currently in a state of denial because I can't believe this show went so horribly.
And this was our show. You can listen to our shows wherever you get your podcasts and can also join us live on our YouTube channel and the Stereo app every Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, as we talk about the two sides of life, the fun and the serious. I love you, Pete.
Giddy up, John. I hope you do better next time. I hope I am a better friend. We'll figure it out next time. I just don't even know sometimes, man. I just don't even know. Cheers, brother. Better next time. I hope I am a better friend. We'll figure it out next time.